Melted down into a puddle. My anchor broke and I've been flung awry in a spinny barge. Barge in and tell how I feel. Well, I barged into a society of wealth and privilege, climbed up in the world without gravity, make my way to the door, except when she rejects me, she pushes me back and sideways she comes down. I'm falling back through the door onto the street and she curse brings me back home. I close the door and flirt with my keyboard. I live by my passions, for I scream out and cross my arms and remain still as hard. Harder than granite when it crumbles and the house of cards floats away. Up, down, let's rest the issue head on. My head is gone, I float in stars. The fire pulled me in and drawn through my veins. I am anger unleashed from the whisper upon keys, yet none of that matters, for this is drawn not from form and speaking back at me like a robot. Maybe these scrawlings are a robot, because the words and pages reflect back at me like photos becoming mirrors. Oh, what a scales pit I've fallen into, yet my hands are caked with too much mud. If I were to start I would collapse and you would get nothing but darkness. How is what I fear different from spirals turning into arrows around the center forcing in? I must build walls and barricade with turned soldiers. It's alright, it's fine, but it's not. I get more wounded each day, and yet I heal and push forward, growing into my strongest form. I must never break. I am bound to my fate, and upon these bounds my arms have grown into shields to put between myself and others. I must never be hurt again, and to round every corner, so isolate and fall back into the shadows and creak these notes. Look, I, like any man, am wounded. I collapse like any star, but maybe there's more to a black hole. For what light should I let you have? You stars who shine bright, will I turn into a darkness that I must face alone? And yet I do, posture up and put the rage into my shoulders and arms, where I then walk ragely. I take power back because I've never been so strong. Like a marionette whose strings have been working for the first time, I bend into motion and overtake my opponents. Should I emerge as a champion? But if I must write such a story, would I not tear the heavens down and allow the skies to shatter like cobwebs across the earth, each octagon section holding its image but spinning to the ground so you see nothing but a blur focused in? Would disorientate your expectations for that work then? For I grappled to no bearings, entering into a depth of prosperity in writing that was an Eden you know not of. The mind can wrap ribbon around itself and bear greatness deep inside. But recall as I do, I've found section of human power many times. Its flow breathes into me and through me. Now I whisper quietly upon unread pages, waiting for you to reach a hand into the void and draw yourself closer. What is society but oblique transmission between the masses? A cluster of regard for one another. I speak not of that, but beyond that there is a self. A telescope or stars staring at the heavens. Hold that image, then look at yourself, and from the other end of the telescope in little places you will grasp my frustrations. For the soul is within us, and many have forgotten. So I take a strength that seems worthless and ground beneath us of the waters of the earth. I draw my hands forward to swing hard against all that has kept me down. Striking the page with a pen, I cross out the writings I have done and would have done if I were you. I am not, and I refuse to be as the start of my healing. Broken stallion mended, and angels in the heavens as I rise and hit a great stride, for nothing will break the reach up of a flower bending to get a glimpse of the sun. For the flower stares at the heaven all day, trying to become stronger in the heaven's embrace with warmth and light. I spin in confusion. I see nothing but polarity in all position of mine. Be not strongly soft, be not the best, but join the masses in the sleep of commonality. Come back to us, come to masses under the belts of its oppressors. Let media fill your mind with tedium and be bewildered by any of the most striking thoughts and ideas on the very land you grew up in. I may have been raised here, but I reject everything, all of it. I've no pride in what is, and I find it hard to envy you yours. So as I push up against the encroaching dome of screens with lies and holographic world, you crush the different. I see beyond the funeral of it all, and what you want for the set, and tell me of wrong and crime you're with, because they're all the same thing to me now. I could be so much more if I were just to reach beyond the curtain, but every time I join with you in the theatre or on the stage to act my part, I crumble before the mountain comes into my hand. I am defeated by the multitude zigzagging past me on the sidewalk. Each person is a bendable reality, a new anomaly of perspective, yet you behold yours to see only one truth. Aware of me wasn't that easy. Why should I surrender optimism? Society left me with a broken corner let return. But I do return, bring you this message. From the multitude suffering, I have a demand that you look back on yourself and then back at me with answer as not. I have nothing for you but a policeman's baton to keep you down when the protests are too loud. A mace to show your eyes sting and seeing my form. Is it the suits? Is it the giant monuments, the money that they put up in the city to block out the sun? Is it the bars and the cages he forming around me when I protest with the truth? Listen, Amy, I'm an airless, once-in-a-lifetime glimpse of higher essence lying in a box under your bed. When you dream go there, open up the box, and subconscious will tell you the same thing I'm telling you now. The million images will long together for you when a greater understanding, and maybe there's something truly love and an unfelt sadness. I learned humanity. That's all I learned.